After taking a huge hit in last Thursday's season opener against USC, UH quarterback Bryant Moniz was back in pads for the first time since being knocked out of that game. Mo practiced without a helmet today, but that's just for precautionary reasons.
How'd you feel about what you were able to see from him just since he's had the injury?
Oh, he's been fine. We've just been real conservative. He didn't have headaches. He didn't have any of the symptoms from concussions, but we wanted to, just be careful.
That's the approach the Warriors are taking, especially because of the unknown questions that surround a head injury. But what everybody wants to know, with just 4 days till their next game and Moniz hasn't even put on a helmet yet, what will his impact be and will he start?
Mo's going to play. He took reps today, and he's going to be our starting quarterback.
No effects that I could tell, but I'm not a doctor, and he threw the ball well. No helmet, but kind of it's a positive thing to get him out there.
Well, there you have it. Bryant Moniz will be the starter. The Warriors ready for Army and their 10-hour flight to New York. Black Knights opened up the season with a 31-27 win over Eastern Michigan. Kickoff for this one early, 6 a.m. Hawaii time. Cleveland Browns second-round pick David Vekune, the Campbell High grad, was cut by the Cleveland Browns today, even after making the 53-man roster. Browns parted ways with the former Warrior to create a roster spot for cornerback Derek Roberson. Vekune, 2009 52nd overall pick, played in only 10 games last season with the Browns. First team All-WAC in 2007 with UH, now looking for employment elsewhere.
Hours, the Warrior football team will take off to the Big Apple, and after today's final practice at home, it's crystal clear who'll be taking the snaps come this Saturday. Bryant Moniz practiced for the first time since he suffered a head injury in the USC game. He took most of the snaps today, but did so without a helmet. Still, the coaches say the junior QB will be starting on Saturday against Army.
The doctors and the trainers and all of us, of course, care about everybody's health, and we've just been real conservative. He didn't have headaches. He didn't have any of the symptoms from concussions, but we wanted to, just be careful.
He threw the ball well, no helmet, but kind of it's a positive thing to get him out there, at least taking some reps, throwing the ball.
Now, Rolovich says the quarterback rotation will not change for this weekend's game. Brent Roush is the backup, followed by Shane Austin. Both took equal reps today at practice. The Warriors take the field against Army at West Point Saturday, September 11th. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 in the morning Hawaii time. And our very own Mike Cherry is with the team, and he'll be filing reports all the way up through the game. It's a sad day for a former Warrior. David Vekune was cut by the Cleveland Browns this morning. The Campbell High School grad was the 52nd pick in last year's draft. He played in 10 games last season and was part of the Browns' outstanding kick return unit. Cleveland tried to convert the former Hawaii defensive end into a linebacker, but the team says he showed little progress during the preseason this summer. This now leaves 12 Warriors who are on NFL rosters this season. They are Devon Best, John Estes, Samson Satele, Vince Manuwai, Wayne Hunter, Isaac Sopoanga, Ikaika Alama Francis, Travis LaBoy, Pisa Tinoy Samoa, Ryan Mouton, Matt McBriar, and Jake Ingram.
His coach's expectations today. Moniz practiced this morning, albeit on a limited and controlled basis. It was his first participation since suffering a hit to the head that forced him out of Hawaii's season-opening loss to USC. UH head coach Greg McMackin says he still anticipates Moniz to start this Saturday on the road against Army. The team departs for West Point tonight. Whether it's Moniz behind center or reserves Brent Roush and or Shane Austin, expect the Hawaii offense to continue to incorporate the kiko formation, a new wrinkle the Warriors added to the run and shoot this fall and unveiled against USC last week, a game that saw the Warriors roll up 588 yards of total offense. The kiko, which in Hawaiian can mean dot or punctuation, is similar to the pistol formation popularized by Nevada coach Chris Alt, where the running back lines up directly behind the shotgun quarterback. And don't mistake this play for the pistol.
If we call it pistol, we have to do 50 push-ups. We call it the kiko offense. But yeah, I think it actually helps a lot because the back's, behind us rather than to one of our sides, and defenses can key off if the back's on our left or the back's on our right. So when it keeps us straight behind us, it keeps us kind of honest, and they don't really know which way the back's going to go. So it helps us a lot with protection.
A lot of people blitz off of your back if you have them to the side because you slide your line one way, so they'll blitz to the back or away from the back. The other thing that it does, it gives the back a lot more room to run the football when we do run it. We don't have him as deep as the Nevadas and those type of teams because they're a running team. We're a passing team, so we have him a little tighter so he can get into his, block protection.
So it's off to play Army this Saturday. Black Knights are led by head coach Rich Ellerson, who spent 9 years over 3 separate stints in Manoa as a defensive assistant and coordinator. Army beat Eastern Michigan over the weekend, 31-27. Kickoff Saturday is at 6 in the morning, Hawaii time. There are some that are starting to believe the Bronco hype after taking down 10th-ranked Virginia Tech last night. 33-30, Boise State gained 7 first-place votes in today's AP poll, giving the Broncos a total of 8. They remain third in both the AP and coaches poll. The Broncos, in their final year in the Western Athletic Conference, are being talked about as a potential national championship contender this season. Alabama remains in the top spot with 47 first-place votes. Ohio State is second, but holding on to fewer first-place votes than Boise. After the Broncos, it's TCU, then Texas, then it's Nebraska, Oregon, Florida, Iowa, and Oklahoma. USC, by the way, who defeated Hawaii last Thursday, 49-36, still dropped 2 spots from 14th to 16th. After converting from a defensive end in college to an outside linebacker in the pros, former UH Warrior David Vekune was left on the outside looking in today as he was released by the Cleveland Browns. Vekune, a 6'2", 255-pounder, was a second-round draft pick of the Browns last year and played in 10 games while trying to transition into a linebacker in Cleveland's 3-4 defensive scheme. In the majors, the Phillies leapfrogged the Braves to take a half-game lead in the National League East Division. Philadelphia edged the Marlins tonight 8-7. Maui's Shane Victorino went yard in the 5th inning. Homer number 17 on the season, adding to a career high in that department. Shane was 2 for 5 and is now hitting .257. There's your look at sports.
Now, am I correct in assuming, by the way you said, there are some people starting to believe the Boise State hype, that you're not one of them?
No, I mean, the fact that we talked about it last night, the fact that I dislike passionately Boise State and everything about the Broncos right now, upon their impending departure from the WAC, does not mean that I don't think that this is a team that deserves a chance if they do run the table and if they continue to win these kinds of games that they've been winning, that they don't deserve a chance at a national championship. Will that happen? I don't think it's likely, because Boise State, as the season goes on, will have to go through the WAC schedule, which will not be looked upon nearly as kindly as obviously some of the teams that are in the Pac-10 or the SECs or the Big Tens of the world. And so I think that it's not likely that they'll play in the national championship game, but I think there are some people who believe that they at least deserve the shot.
Okay.